Ryan Cole had always been the quiet type, the kind of man who avoided trouble even when it stood right in front of him. He believed that strength didn't need to be loud. But that belief was about to be tested one late Friday evening, outside a small cafe in downtown Seattle. It started with Emily, his ex-girlfriend. They had broken up nearly a year ago, parting on civil terms, or so he thought. She wanted someone more exciting, someone who wasn't so calm and steady all the time. Ryan let her go without bitterness. People grow apart, he'd told himself. But fate has a cruel sense of humor. That night, he just finished work at the garage and stopped by for a cup of coffee. The rain was steady, the street lamps glowed gold, and life felt peacefully quiet, until he heard his name. Ryan. He turned, surprised to see Emily standing there under an umbrella, dressed elegantly, smiling like she hadn't once told him he was too boring for her. Beside her stood a mountain of a man, tall, broad, with tattoos snaking up his neck. Emily, Ryan said calmly. Been a while. Yeah, she said, forcing a laugh. This is Derek. My boyfriend. Derek crossed his arms, towering over Ryan. So you're the ex, he said, his tone thick with arrogance. Ryan simply nodded. That's right. Derek smirked. She told me you're the one who used to fix cars and write poetry or some soft stuff like that. Ryan gave a small smile. Still do, actually. Emily shifted uncomfortably. Derek, stop. But Derek wasn't done. You know what's funny, man? Emily said you were too scared to fight for her. That you'd walk away rather than raise your voice. Ryan's eyes stayed calm. That's true. Fighting doesn't fix what's already broken. Derek chuckled darkly. See, that's where you're wrong. If I were you, I'd have fought for her. Hell, I'd have snapped the neck of anyone who tried to take her from me. Ryan sipped his coffee quietly, unfazed. That's one way to look at it. Emily looked nervous now. Derek, can we just go? But Derek took a step closer, invading Ryan's space. What's with that smile, huh? You think I'm joking? I could snap your neck in one move. Ryan met his eyes, calm, unwavering. I don't doubt that you could. But I also know you won't. The words hung in the air, quiet but heavy. Derek's smile faltered. Ryan continued, voice steady as stone. You're trying to prove you're stronger than me, but strength isn't about who can break bones. It's about who can control themselves when they want to break something. Emily looked between them, realizing that same quiet confidence she once called boring was actually what made Ryan different. Derek laughed bitterly. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Ryan stood, finishing his coffee and setting the cup down. Not guts, just experience. Derek sneered. Experience with what? Ryan's gaze hardened for the first time. With men who mistake anger for power. He turned to Emily. I hope you're happy, Em. Just remember, the loudest men are usually the weakest. With that, Ryan walked past them into the rain, calm as ever. But the story didn't end there. 2 days later, Ryan was closing his garage when he heard shouting outside. When he stepped out, he saw Derek, furious, pacing near his car, fists clenched. Thought I'd find you here, Derek barked. You embarrassed me in front of her. Ryan sighed, wiping his hands on a rag. You embarrassed yourself. Derek's face twisted with rage. Say that again. Ryan didn't. He simply turned to lock the door. Derek shoved him hard against the wall. Fight back. Derek yelled. Come on, let's see what you've got. Ryan stared at him, breathing slow and steady. You don't want to do this. I'll break you, Derek growled, pulling back his fist. Ryan moved fast, faster than Derek expected. In one swift motion he sidestepped, caught Derek's wrist, twisted it, and pinned him against the hood of a car. The giant man let out a groan of pain as Ryan held him down effortlessly. His voice stayed calm, cold, precise. I told you, I don't fight to win. I fight to stop people from doing something they'll regret. Derek froze, panting. Ryan leaned closer, his tone quiet but sharp. You ever raise your hand to me again, or to her, you'll see a side of me I've been trying hard not to use. He released Derek and stepped back. Derek stumbled away, rubbing his wrist, his arrogance gone. You think you're some kind of hero? Ryan shook his head. No, just a man who learned peace the hard way. Derek hesitated for a long second, then left without another word. Later that evening, as Ryan was closing up shop again, Emily showed up. Her eyes were red, her voice shaky. Ryan, she said softly. He's gone. I ended it. Ryan nodded, not saying much. I saw everything, she continued. What you did. You didn't hurt him, but you stopped him. You were right all along. Real strength isn't about control over others. It's about control over yourself. Ryan smiled faintly. Took me a long time to learn that. She hesitated. You were always the better man, Ryan. I just didn't see it until now. He looked at her for a moment, his voice gentle but final. Maybe it wasn't meant for you to see then. Some lessons take the right storm to show up. Tears filled her eyes. Do you think we could ever? He shook his head softly. No, Emily. We had our time. You'll find peace, but it's not with me. She nodded, understanding. Thank you, for not hating me. Ryan smiled again, calm and sincere. Hate's too heavy to carry. I've learned to travel light. As she walked away into the rain, Ryan looked up at the cloudy sky. He could still feel the ache of what once was, but beneath it, there was peace. The world hadn't changed. The storms still came. But now he knew something few men ever truly understood. The strongest man in the room is the one who doesn't need to prove it. And when Ryan smiled that night, he knew Derek hadn't chosen the wrong fight. He'd chosen the wrong man.